Hello friends, welcome to the channel Craze of Commerce. Today's topic is fire insurance. Now, why we undertake or why we need to have a fire insurance? Basically, most of the time it happens that due to fire the property is lost, or you can say the property gets damaged or destroyed. So to get protection against the loss by fire, you need to have a fire insurance. So fire insurance is a property insurance that provides coverage for the loss or damage to a structure damaged or destroyed in a fire. Any loss which is occurred due to the or the reason of fire, for that you need to have a fire insurance. Fire insurance covers a policy holder against fire loss or damage from number of sources. These includes fire brought by electricity such as faulty wires, gas explosions, as well as those caused by lightning and natural disasters. Now the reason for fire loss by fire may be many reasons, like they have given, like the fire might be caused due to the shock circuit, like faulty wires are there is a gas explosion is there, due to heavy rainfall, lightning is there, natural disasters is there. So there are n number of reasons because of which fire may take place, and to get this security or to cover from this all losses, you need to have a fire insurance. Now, a burst and overflowing water tanks or pipes may also be covered in this policy. Now, let's understand there are various types of fire insurance, total 9 types of fire insurance. Let's study one by one. First is valued policy. Value of the subject matter is agreed upon the time of taking of the policy. That means now you have decided to take the insurance, you have decided to take the life fire insurance. So the value of that subject, that means your the subject may be your warehouse, or you can say it may be the building. So that is the subject matter. So while taking the fire insurance, that subject matter, that property, the value of that property or the subject matter is decided. The insurer agrees to pay a predetermined amount if the subject matter is destroyed or damaged. Okay, and if this subject matter for which you have taken the policy, the insurer, that is the insurance company, agrees you to pay the loss, agrees you to pay the compensation. The agreed value may be more or less than the market value. As we know, the value of any subject matter, be it your property, warehouse, anything, the value of that is going to change, going to fluctuate according to the market conditions. So generally issued for those goods whose value become difficult to calculate. Now this insurance is this type of valued policy is taken for those goods whose calculation or becomes very difficult. Okay, whose calculation becomes very difficult. For example, jewelry. Now, at today's condition, the value of the jewelry is 51,000, right? Now, this value may get reduced, may get increased in the future date. We are not aware about it. So, for such products or such goods whose market value keeps on fluctuating, or we are not aware about it as of now in today's condition, for those goods valued policy is the best policy. Now here it not only comes for jewelry, it is for the artwork, or you can say the sculptures, all those fine works, art where you are going to depict your artwork. For those also this valued policy is beneficial. Next is specific policy. Here the risk is insured for specific sum irrespective of the market value. The actual value of property is not taken into consideration. That means when you are taking the fire insurance, the specific value you will decide, and you can say you will be compensated only for that specific value. Let's understand it with an example. Now if you have taken the insurance policy of rupees 50,000, but the market value of that subject, or you can say that property, is rupees 80,000, but still you have taken the insurance policy of rupees 50,000. Now under these conditions, how insurance company, or you can say how insurer is going to work. For example, In first condition, if the loss is of rupees 40,000, then the compensation you will receive is full. Why? Because you have taken the insurance policy of rupees 50,000 and the loss which has been incurred is less than 50,000. So the compensation which you are going to claim to insurance company, for that you are going to get complete 40,000. Okay, this was the first condition. In second condition, if the loss is incurred for rupees 60,000, then the compensation received will be of only 50,000. Why? The reason is you have taken the insurance for 50,000. That means the thing to be remembered here is that the policy or the amount for which you have taken the policy, for that much amount only you will be paid compensation, or you may ask for the claim. You can't ask the claim dependent on the market value. Clear? So in the second condition, even if you are incurred the loss of 60,000, you will be getting the compensation of 50,000, and the 10,000 is your complete loss. Clear? Next is floating policy. This policy is taken to cover the risk of goods lying at different places, warehouses, godowns. Now, what does this mean? Now, in in my last video, you have seen types of warehouses. Okay, in that type, we have seen that many a times it happens that a single owner has the goods located at different places, at different locations, at different warehouses. The goods are his own goods, but due to some reason he is not able to store all the goods at a single warehouse. So what he does, he keeps on storing the goods at different warehouses. So for this type of this type of condition, floating policy is very useful. Why? Because even if your goods are lying at different places, you are having the you are having the right to claim the, you can say, compensation from the from the insurer. Okay, see, let's understand. This policy is taken to cover the risk of goods lying at different places, different warehouses, or you can say different godowns. It's not necessary that all the goods should be under one roof. Your goods belong to same person, but the condition is that all the goods at different locations or the different places should belong to the single owner, and that one policy will take cover of all the goods at different places. So the goods are located at different places, and the policy for all those different goods at different locations, you will take only one policy for that. This policy is useful to the one who is engaged in import and export of goods. So this is beneficial for one who is dealing in global trade, you can say in international trade, where he is always engaged in importing goods, or you can say in exporting the goods. Clear? Next is comprehensive policy. This policy is taken up to cover all types of risk, including fire. Risk like fire, explosion, lightning, bulgari, riots, earthquakes, floods, etc. Now what is bulgari? That is illegal entry into a building with an intention to commit a crime, or with an intention to stole something. That means even if you are not allowed to enter into that premises, still with illegal means and ways you're trying to enter the premises and try to stole the things. So this comprehensive policy not only covers fire, loss by fire, but it is also going to cover this n number of things like risk like fire, explosion, lightning, bulgari, riots, earthquakes, floods, etc. Next is consequential loss policy. Fire may stop, or you can say it may dislocate the work in the factory place. Production reduces and fixed expenses remain the same. This everyone is aware about this situation. What happens if fire takes place? Unless and until you cover that area, you again set up it as before, the time the time consumed is a lot. So what happens, meanwhile your production comes to standstill. That means there is no production taking place. But even though when there is no production taking place, your fixed incomes, or your fixed expenses are going to take place. So you can't avoid those fixed expenses, right? So for such conditions, you need to have consequential loss policy. Thus, the policy is taken to cover the consequential loss, such as payment of standing charges, expenses in respect of the increase in cost of working. Means all those fixed expenses which you can't avoid even though your production has stopped. For those cases, you need to have consequential loss policy. Next is reinstatement policy. The insurance company undertakes to replace the damaged property to its original condition instead of paying the compensation. So, what happens? Now, your property has been lost, or you can say has been damaged due to the fire. So, generally, what happens? We approach to the insurance company, we approach to the insurer and ask for the compensation. That is, we ask for the financial assistance, we ask for the financial help, or we ask for the claim, and in return the company is going to pay us. But under this policy, what happens? Instead of company giving us compensation, the company is taking the charge, or you can say is taking the responsibility to bring the damaged property into its original condition, into its the way it was before. Here, the rate of premium is higher in the reinstatement policy. So, the premium which you are going to pay to the insurance company for the fire insurance, the premium is generally going to be high. But the benefit is what? You are going to get the complete setup as before. Now, it is excess policy. What this policy says: sometimes the stock of a businessman may fluctuate from time to time, and he may be unable to take one policy for a specific policy. See, today I have taken today I have taken the fire insurance, but as of now, suppose my stock was of 1,000 goods. Tomorrow the stock might get reduced or the stock might get increased. Under such conditions, you need to have excess policy. If he takes a policy of a higher amount, he has to pay a higher premium. On the other hand, if he takes the insurance for the lower amount, he will have to bear the proportionate amount of the loss. Clear? I am taking the policy for 1,000 goods. Tomorrow if the goods rises to 1,500, so what happens? The extra 500 will be bared by me. If I am taking the policy of 900, so the 900 or you can say the compensation for 900 will be bared by insurance company. The insured in this case can purchase two policies, one first loss policy and the second excess policy. The first loss policy will cover the stock below which the stock never goes. Next is sprinkler leakage policy. Sprinkler damage insurance is a type of insurance coverage that covers the losses that are incurred as the result of sprinklers leaking or accidentally being turned out. See, you can see in the image those sprinklers which are fitted at the roof of your ceilings, which is going to protect you from the fire. But due to some reasons, if it is not working or it is accidentally turned on, then there might be a damage to your property. The discharge or the leakage of water due to the heat caused by fire, repair or alteration of building or sprinkler installation, earthquake, war, explosion are covered by this policy. All such incidences will be compensated under this policy. And the last one is average policy. It is a policy which contains average loss, average clause. Now, what does that mean? If the policyholder has taken a policy for lesser amount than the actual value of the property, the insured will be deemed to be his insurer for the amount of underinsurance. Now let's understand this with an example. The property worth rupees 30,000 is insured for 20,000 is damaged up to rupees 12,000. The insurer will pay only 8,000 as is evident from the following. Now see what it says, that the actual value of the property is 30,000, but the insurance is taken for rupees 20,000 and the damage is up to rupees 12,000. So what here we have to understand the three main values. Value of the property 30,000. Clear? Insurance taken of the property amount is 20,000 and the damage caused is rupees 12,000. Now, how much will insurance company pay you under this condition? Let's understand there is a formula given for that. To compensate a claim, you have to calculate insured amount upon value of property into actual loss. Insured amount here is rupees 20,000 divided by value of property, that is 30,000, multiplied by actual loss, that is 12,000. Clear? The insured thus will suffer up to rupees 4,000 and the insurer will pay only 8,000 out of rupees 12,000. Clear? I hope you have understood this complete types of fire insurance. If there is any kind of doubt, you may mention in the comment box. If you like my video, please do like and subscribe. Thank you.